Welcome everyone to TASCA Ford, Cranston, Rhode Island. I am Carl TASCA Jr. and I'm going to give you a little recap of the history of the family business and what we do here and why maybe we're unique for a good place to buy a Ford. This business was started by my grandfather in 1953, Bob TASCA Sr. We have some pictures over here of him. But Pop started, a young man at a young age had a relative who was a mechanic on Fords, and being it was the 1930s, Pop had to learn a trade. So he said, I want to work on Fords. So that was around age 8. In 4th grade, he wrote a report called I Want to Be a Ford Dealer. And that's really where he picked a point to focus on. He pursued that all his life, and with considerable success, I might add. Pop started at a local Ford dealership down the street for 4 cents an hour, or maybe 4 cents a week. It changes when Pop tells the story. But started as a grease monkey. Started as a gopher, helping out the technicians. Worked his way up to a salesman. Pop has a tremendous mind for engineering, but also a tremendous salesman. We like to say that when it comes to a customer satisfaction, he wrote the book. And I'll walk you over here. Don't want to walk you too much, but this is actually the book that Pop wrote about how to sell a vehicle, how to satisfy a customer. You will be satisfied. So I can say when it comes to customer satisfaction, we wrote the book. That's the truth. Pop in 1953 fulfilled his lifelong dream, opened up his first Ford dealership. Hurricane Carol destroyed it about 8 months afterwards. So Pop, tough guy, started over. Moved to East Providence. After a little while, moved to the big store in East Providence, where he fulfilled a lifelong dream, being the #1 Ford dealer in the world. Now, he wasn't that for too long, but I don't know if he was the #1 Ford dealer in the world. It's also where he met the likes of Henry Ford II. He befriended Carroll Shelby, Mario Andretti, and that's also where TASCA Racing started. From 1962 to 1972, we participated in all forms of AFX racing, funny car racing. Won a couple big events. Our driver, Billy Lawton, was in the Drag Racing Hall of Fame with my grandfather. Won a few big races, most notably the Winter Nationals at Pomona. In 1972, we opened up a Lincoln Mercury dealership right down the road, and we really did something that Pop had always wanted to do. Number one, we started a family business. My Uncle Bob, my father, Carl Sr., and my Uncle Dave joined Pop in the family business. And then it really became what we know the dealership as today. A big Italian family, working, fighting, laughing, and shouting a lot, satisfying the customers, selling a lot of cars. It's also where a couple notable things happened, where we did what's never been done before. #1 in volume and #1 in customer satisfaction for Ford Motor Company. That was in 1986. We say that again because it's never been done to that point. It really made history. #1 in customer satisfaction, #1 in vehicle sales. So Pop could say, none bigger, none better. A couple other things that happened in that location. Something very special was invented, which we call pre-trade. It's a different way to buy a car. Originally, people used to buy cars. Used to finance them. Pop invented what was short-term leasing with a man named Eustace Wolfington. That revolutionized the way that people buy cars. Today, about half the people in the world lease their car. They don't own their car. They don't drive. They don't finance their car. And there's a number of benefits to that. But that was invented in 1982. Coincidentally, it was also the month I was born that was invented. So it's worked so far. We became the authority in leasing throughout Ford Motor Company, throughout the world. Pop traveled the world. And it's really been the hallmark of our business. And we like to say that makes us the premier place to buy a car, to buy a Ford, because we show you different ways to buy a car and give you flexibility. Aside from that, we really we expanded our business, moved to this beautiful location, 2002, Cranston, Rhode Island, where we have Ford, Lincoln Mercury, and Mazda. We have 3 brands plus a large pre-owned operation. We also did something very special. We got back into racing, first with John Force, who's been a friend of the family for a very long time. We got John to drop that Pontiac badge on the front of his car and drive a Mustang where he belongs. He's won several championships with that. And most notably, my cousin Bob III now is going from alcohol racing to top fuel funny car, doing an exceptionally well job in his rookie season. But this is our facility. We like to think it's state-of-the-art. Over 70,000 square feet in our first building. We have a back building where we work on our wholesale parts business. And we'll take you for a little walk through it. We'll show you the facility, but like my grandfather says, bricks and mortar don't sell cars. Buildings don't sell cars, it's the people. And I like to think that being in business for 65 years, we actually have a few people that have been with the company almost that long, that it's the TASCA team, the TASCA family that makes the difference. So I'll end this with our company saying, "You will be satisfied."